had just turned 14 when I heard my mother cry alone in her room for the first time since my father's funeral. It was 2 a.m. I woke up thirsty, and as it passed the dark corridor, I heard the muffled sobs. I leaned my ear at the wooden door, and my heart froze. He promised. Her voice was a torn whisper. He promised it was different. I didn't understand that night, but now, 8 years later, sitting here remembering everything, I know exactly what happened. And I need to tell this story, because if you are listening to this, maybe someone you love is going through the same thing, and you can save it. How I tried to save my mother. My name is Amanda. Today I am 22 years old. I work as a graphic designer, and I live alone in a small apartment, but mine. But at 14, I was just a quiet, crooked bangs, and beaten teenager who still didn't understand how the world could be cruel with good women. I was invisible at school, took medium grades, didn't have many friends. My life revolved around my mother. It has always been so. My mother, Beatrice, was 38 at the time, Castanian hair always stuck in ponytail, calling hands from working so much, and a tired smile that she forced every morning before leaving to work at the center's clothing store. She sold simple pieces for women like her, people who needed good and cheap clothes, people who worked hard and deserved to feel beautiful, even for a day. She was beautiful. Not like that. Real beautiful. Beautiful from those who wake up at 5 a.m. to make coffee, get their daughter to school, work all day up, and still come home with energy to ask how my day went. Beautiful who smiles even when the light bill is late. Beautiful from those who never give up. 2 years earlier, we lost my father. Fulminating heart attack at 42. He worked on civil construction and had heart problems that never dealt with right. He said that doctor was a thing of weak people. He died on the work, on a sunny Tuesday, with the lunchbox still closed in his bag. I remember the day. I remember being in the classroom when the principal came in and called my name. I remember the empty corridor, the sound of my steps, my mother's face waiting at the school door. She didn't have to say anything. I already knew. We survived. Evil. With the small pension and my mother's salary, we ate rice and egg almost every day, sometimes pasta with sausage, in good days, chicken. But she never missed anything for me. Clean uniform, new notebook, backpack snack. I never embarrassed at school because of lack of material. She made sure that. But the price was high. She went out. He always wore the same 3 blouses, 1 black, 1 white, 1 navy. It rolled them during the week. He cut his hair alone in front of the mirror to save the 20 rays of the salon. Stopped using lipstick. He stopped painting his nails. It stopped smiling for real. Her smiles became masks. I saw that. I saw how she forced her mouth up when someone asked if everything was okay. All great, thank God, she answered. But it wasn't. She worked from 8 to 6. He would come home with swollen feet, took his shoe on the door, sigh deep, and went straight to the kitchen to make dinner. We ate watching soap opera. She washed the dishes. I was studying at the kitchen table as she passed clothes. At 10 at night she fell on the bed, and resumed the next day. I wanted to help, but I was a child. I didn't know how. So I tried to be good, take reasonable notes, do not work, do not ask for anything. When the girls at school talked about shopping, movie, new clothes, I pretended that I didn't care. I pretended to want nothing to do with, because I knew my mother couldn't give me. And I loved her so much to make her feel worse than she already felt. Until, 6 months before that cry in the room, everything changed. She met him. It was on a Saturday afternoon. I was playing on my cell phone, lying on the old sofa of the room, when my mother entered with her face lit. She had just arrived at work. Usually she entered tired, threw the bag on the couch, and went straight to take a shower. But that day, it was different. "Manda, come see one thing." She sat next to me on the old couch and showed her cell phone. The screen showed a relationship site. It had a profile picture, a description, a messaging box. I made an ugly face. "Mom, really? Daughter, I just want to meet new people." She gave a shy smile, almost embarrassed. "Everyone is on the internet these days, right?" Sueli of work encouraged me. I said I need to live, that your father wouldn't want to see me like this. I rolled my eyes, but deep down, I was happy. It was so long that I didn't see her excited about something. It had been so long that she didn't really smile. His name was Ricardo Almeida. PE photo, R feel, gray suit man, gray hair on the sides, toothpaste commercial smile, tanned skin, light eyes, an appearance that looked too good to be true. He said he was 45 years old, being a businessman, living in another city, but always traveling to work. He said he was divorced without children, that he sought something serious. He's polite. Send a message every day. Ask how I am, if I tuned, if I slept well. It's attentive. I looked at his picture and felt a tightness in my chest. I can't explain. Something was wrong. Maybe it was too much perfection. Perhaps it was the fact that men are not usually available on relationship sites, Or maybe it was just a daughter's instinct protecting her mother. But I was 14 years old. What did I know about men and internet? He looks cool, I lied. She smiled. A real smile this time. I'm afraid. Send it. It's been so long. I don't even know how it works. Mom, it's just going slowly, okay? Don't cling fast. She nodded, but I saw her eyes. She was already clinging. In the first 3 months, my mother was reborn. She woke up smiling. He hummed while making coffee. He used lipstick again. He bought a new, red, beautiful blouse, something she hadn't done for years. It started moisturizing your hands. He started using a cream that smelled the lavender. He spent hours on his cell phone, laughing softly, typing fast, his eyes shining. He's so attentive. Send it. So different. Knows how to hear. Know how to make me laugh. I wanted to believe it. I swear I wanted to. Seeing my mother happy was everything I always wanted, but there was something in the way he always had an excuse. Always traveling. Always in the middle of a meeting. Always with the cell phone without battery. Always postponing the face-to-face meeting. Mom, when are you going to meet him in person? Soon, daughter. He's organizing everything. It will come here next month. He said he wants to do something special. But next month I turned later. And then it became next week. And next week I became, as soon as I solved some problems at work. And she was still waiting. He kept believing. He was still smiling. Until her birthday. The bomb burst on my mother's birthday. March 20th. She turned 39. He spent all week excited because Ricardo had promised that he would come. He said he was going by surprise, taking her in a chic restaurant, meeting her daughter, doing everything the way she deserved it. She was euphoric. He told Sueli from work. He told neighboring. He told the cousin. Everyone was happy for her. My mother cleaned the whole house, passed cloth on the floor twice. It washed the curtains. He exchanged the tablecloth. He bought a simple but beautiful dress, navy blue with white balls, in a downtown thrift store, made the nails, passed lipstick, passed perfume. He caught his hair in a loose bun that left some strands falling on his face. I had never seen her so happy since my father's death, and that scared me, because I knew something was going to go wrong. I don't know how, but I knew. At 18 age, she was sitting in the room, in high heels, hands on her lap, looking at the door. I had made a simple chocolate cake with brigadeiro topping. It was in the fridge waiting. I pretended I was studying at the kitchen table, but I didn't take my eyes off her. She looked at her cell phone every 2 minutes, unlocked, looked, blocked, breathed deep. 19 nothing. She got up, went to the window, looked at the street. He returned to the couch. It moved the hair, straightened the dress. 20 she called, fell into the mailbox. She tried to smile at me. It must be in traffic, right? Saturday is complicated. 21 urge. Sent a message. No answer. 2 blue marks, but no answer. She began to gnaw her nail, something she didn't do since my father died. 22 She took the jump. He was barefoot, looking at his cell phone, his eyes starting to turn red. I couldn't stand it. Mom, come eat a piece of cake. You didn't even have lunch well. I'm not hungry, daughter, but it's your birthday. I know. Her voice trembled. At midnight, he finally answered. Sorry, love. I had a last-minute unforeseen, urgent meeting with an important customer. I couldn't warn you before. I promised to compensate. I love you. My mother read the message 3 times. Then he locked his face, but forced a smile. He works a lot. Send it. It is understandable. Entrepreneur is anyway. But I saw the way she entered the room, closed the door slowly, and did not leave until the other morning. I saw her swollen eyes on the next breakfast. I saw how she kept the dress at the bottom of the wardrobe and never worn again. I saw how she threw the cake away, almost whole, because none of us had the courage to eat, and I felt angry. Anger at a man I had never seen, but was already hurting my mother. Anger at someone who made promises and did not fulfill. Anger of those who played with the feelings of a woman who had already suffered too much. But my mother didn't give up on him. She continued sending a message. He kept believing, he kept waiting, and I kept watching. 2 weeks after her birthday, I was at home alone. My mother had gone to the market. It was Saturday morning. I was watching drawing in the room when I heard her cell phone vibrate on the center table. She had forgotten. It was carrying. I looked. The screen lit with a notification. It was his. Good morning, my love. Thinking of you. I know it was wrong. I know I shouldn't have moved. But something inside me shouted that I needed to see. Something was wrong. Very wrong. And if my mother didn't see, I needed to see for her. I unlocked. She used my father's birthday as a password. July 15th, 1507. I opened WhatsApp. I went straight to Ricardo's messages. I started to roll up. Days, weeks, months. And then I saw it. There was another conversation there. Much older. Almost a year ago. Before he started talking to my mother. And in this conversation, he said the same things. Exactly the same phrases. Word by word. You are special. Unlike all I have ever met. I never felt that before. It's like I knew you from another life. It's going to be all right. Trust me. I'll take care of you. Only it wasn't for my mother. It was for another woman. with another name, another number. The name was Carla, and he used the same affectionate nicknames, the same promises, the same phrases. My heart fired. My hand began to tremble. I continued rolling. They had more. More conversations, more women, more names. He copied and glued the same romantic messages, the same promises of eternal love, the same "good morning, my love," with the same photo of breakfast. It was all fake, all lie, all a script. I closed my cell phone fast when I heard the key on the door. My mother came in with the bags of the market, smiling. "Send it. Help me here?" "It's heavy." I helped, but I couldn't look into her eyes. My hands trembled as I took things out of the bag and put it in the closet. "Are you okay, daughter?" "It's pale." "I'm fine, mother. I'm just with a headache." She ran a hand over my forehead. "Do you want me to make a tea?" "It is not necessary, but I needed something. I needed courage, because now I knew. He was lying, and it wasn't just a lie. It was worse. He did this with several. My mother was just one more, just another number, just another lonely woman he manipulated. And I needed to prove it. I needed to show her, before it was too late. In the following days, I couldn't stop thinking about what I had seen. Those messages, those names, that feeling that my mother was being fooled by someone who did it professionally, like a job. I was 14. I wasn't sure what a blow was, what was a stallifying, what was emotional manipulation, but I knew what a lie was. And that was a lie. Big, planned, cruel. The problem is that I couldn't just get to my mother and tell. She wouldn't believe it. She was going to think I was jealous, that I didn't want to see her happy, that I was too young to understand adult love. I knew my mother. She was going to defend him. So I needed more evidence. Evidence that she could not ignore. I started to watch everything. Every message she received. Each time she smiled at the cell phone. Each time she sighed after turning off a call. I turned a spy inside my own home, and I hated that. I hated having to be suspicious. I hated having to protect my mother hers, but it was necessary. A week later, I pretended to be sick not to go to school. Stomachache. My mother believed it easy, gave me Boldo tea, covered me on the couch and went to work. As soon as she left, I took her notebook. It was old, slow, but it worked. She used to pay bills and see recipes on YouTube. I opened her Facebook. The password was the same as the cell phone, 1507. Ricardo Almeida's profile was there. Profile photo, the same man in suit. But when I clicked, I found that the profile was recent. It had been created less than a year ago. Very few photos. No friends in common with my mother. Only 87 friends in total. And the worst, the photos seemed taken from the internet. When I right-click and put on Google Images, I found the same photo on image bank sites. He was using fake photo. My stomach turned. I printed the screen. I hid the paper inside my math notebook. But I didn't stop there. I started looking for his name. Ricardo Almeida, business person. City he said he lived. Nothing. No registered company. No news. No LinkedIn. Nothing. It was as if he didn't exist outside that profile. And then I remembered the other conversations. The other women. I went back to my mother's cell phone when she went to take a shower at night. I wrote down the numbers. 3 different numbers. 3 different names. Carla, Simone, Aparecida. I didn't have the courage to call, but I saved the numbers on a paper I kept under the mattress. I was building a dossier. At the age of 14, not sure what to do, I was writing proof against a man I had never seen, but who already hated with all heart. Meanwhile, my mother sank more and more. She started talking about him all the time. At breakfast, at Sunday lunch, before bed. Ricardo that. Ricardo that. Ricardo said I'm strong. Ricardo said I deserve a good thing. Ricardo said he will take care of me. I bit my tongue. I wanted to scream. I wanted to shake her and show everything I had discovered. But I knew it wasn't time. Not yet. One day, coming back from school, I found my mother crying in the kitchen. It was a Thursday. She had arrived earlier from work. He was sitting in his chair, his cell phone in his hand, tears dripping in silence. "Mother?" I dropped the backpack on the floor. What it was? She wiped her face fast, trying to hide. "Nothing, daughter. Just a difficult day. It's nothing. You're crying." She took a deep breath. He looked at me, and then collapsed. "It's Ricardo. Send it. He's going through a difficult situation." My blood froze. What situation? His company. "You have a financial problem. A partner stole money. He's desperate. You can lose everything." I closed my eyes. I breathed. I already knew what came next. And there, he asked me for a loan. Small. Just to hold the bills until it solves everything. How much? 2,000 reais. I felt the floor disappear under my feet. 2,000 reais. It was almost my mother's entire salary. It was the rent. It was the food of the month. It was everything. "Mom, you won't lend, right?" She looked down. "He said he returns in a week." "Mother, drink. He needs it. And I trust him. He never asked me for anything before. Because now it's the time of the blow," I shouted unintentionally. She widened her eyes. How do you dare? Ricardo is not a coup. He is a serious, hard-working man who is going through a difficulty. And I'll help, because that's what we do when we love someone. You don't even know him in person. I know his heart, and that is enough. I wanted to scream more. I wanted to play all the tests in her face, but I knew it would be no use. Not at that moment. She was blind, completely blind. That night, lying on the bed, I cried. I cried with anger. I cried of impotence. I cried because my mother was going to throw money away. Money we didn't have, and I couldn't stop it. The next day, she made the transfer. I saw her on the phone, typing the bank details, confirming the pics, sending the voucher to him. 2,000 rees, disappearing from our account, going to the account of a liar. Okay, she sighed, relieved. He thanked him a lot. He said I saved his life. I didn't answer. I went to my room and knocked the door. A week later, he had not returned the money. He asked for a few more days, daughter. The situation is more complicated than he thought. 2 weeks, nothing. He said the bank is holding the transfer. Bureaucratic question. A month, nothing. My mother stopped mentioning the money, but I saw the way she told the coins before going to the market, the way she turned off the fastest shower to save gas, the way we had eating egg again every day because meat had been too expensive, and she kept talking to him. I kept sending, "Good morning, my love." He kept believing. Until one afternoon, something happened that changed everything. I was coming back from school when I saw my mother standing in front of the pharmacy, talking to a woman I didn't know. They were serious. The woman was crying. I was surprised. My mother didn't usually stop to talk to strangers. I crossed the street slowly, trying to hear. "I lost 5,000, the woman said, wiping her eyes. "He said he was going to return. He said he loved me," and disappeared. My heart fired. "How was his name?" my mother asked with a trembling voice. Ricardo Almeida. I met him on a relationship site. Do you know?" My mother's face went white. I approached slowly. The two didn't even see me. He borrowed you money?" my mother asked. "He requested. He said his company was in trouble, that the partner stole, which was only even to solve the bank's bureaucracy." My mother took her hand to her mouth. "My God. Do you know him?" the woman asked hopefully. I think so." "So, you know where he lives?" "Because I went to the police, but they said that without real address they can't do anything, and he blocked my number, blocked my Facebook. It disappeared." My mother began to tremble. "I don't know where he lives. We just talked online." The woman collapsed to cry. "I'm a widow. That money was all I had. It was to reform my house, and now I have nothing, and my son is sick. I don't know what to do." My mother hugged the woman there, no mayo from the sidewalk, while people passed looking, and I saw the exact moment when the record fell. I saw when she understood, when reality hit like a punch in the stomach. We returned home in silence. She didn't cry, did not speak. He just walked, looking at the floor, his hands shaking. When we got home, she went straight to the room, closed the door, and then I heard the scream, a scream of pain, of anger, of revolt, a cry that came out of the bottom of the soul, a scream that said everything she couldn't say with words. I leaned against the door, my eyes full of tears. "Mother, leave me alone. Send it." But I didn't leave. I was there, because she needed to know that I was there, that I've always been. 2 hours later, she opened the door. The eyes were red, swollen but dry. I had no tears anymore. There was only anger. "You were right," she said with a hoarse voice. "You've always been right, and I was an idiot. Mom, don't talk like that. I went, send it. I believed in a man I've never seen. I gave us money that we didn't have, money that was yours, that was ours, and now we are screwed because I was dumb. You were not stupid. The lady was deceived. It has a difference." She sat on the couch, put her face in her hands. "What am I going to do now? How will we pay the rent?" I sat on her side. I held her hand. "We'll find a way. Always gave. Remember? We are strong." She looked at me, and for the first time I saw that she was not invincible. She was human, fragile, injured, and needing help. "I'm sorry. Send it. I'm sorry to have been so blind. It was not the lady's fault. But deep down, I knew we needed to do something, because it wasn't just about money. It was about justice. It was about preventing him from doing this with other women. It was about exposing who he really was. And it was tonight, while my mother slept on the exhaust couch, that I took the math notebook. I took all the evidence I had gathered. I took the numbers from other victims, and I made a decision. I was going to end him. I didn't know how yet, but it was, because no one hurt my mother and went unpunished. Nobody. The following Monday, I pretended to be sick again. My mother believed it easy because I had barely slept. I spent the whole night thinking about how I was going to do. When she went to work, her eyes still swollen and her face pale, I took her cell phone that had been carrying in the kitchen. She had begun to forget her cell phone at home. I don't think I could stand it anymore. I couldn't stand to see his messages, because he kept sending. He kept pretending that nothing had happened. "Good morning, my love. It's okay with you? I'm missing you." I felt disgusted. I opened the old conversations again. I went deeper this time. I looked for everything, and I found more, much more. He had not asked for money just from my mother. I had asked Carla too. 5,000 riez. Same excuse. Company with problem. Thief partner. Bank holding transfer. Carla had sent print prints. He thanked hearts. Promised to return in a week. She blocked her 2 days later. Simone. 3,000 riez. Same story. Aparecida. 1,500. Same lie. There were 4 women. Only in the conversations I could see. There was probably more. Much more. He was professional. I had a script. He took vulnerable women, widows, divorced, alone. He won slowly, gained confidence. I expected the right moment. I invented a crisis. I asked for money borrowed, and disappeared. He was a predator. I wrote down everything. Names, numbers, values, dates. I print of everything I got. I sent to myself by email. I deleted the sent messages. I put the phone back in place. And then I did something that I still don't know if it was right or wrong. I called Carla. My hand trembled when I dismissed the number. I played 3 times. He was going to hang up when she answered. Hello? The voice was tired, sad. Hi, my name is Amanda. I think we have something in common. Silence. Who are you? How did you get my number? I'm Beatrice's daughter. Do you know a man named Ricardo Almeida? I heard her take a deep breath on the other side. I know, or knew. Why? Because he did my mother the same thing he did to you. Carla was silent for a few seconds. Then he sighed deep. Did your mother also lost money? 2,000 riez. Everything we had. My God. Her voice failed. This bastard. This damn. How many more did he deceive? I found at least 2 more. But it must have others. Did you go to the police? Not yet. My mother she is very bad. You don't want to talk about it. I understand. I was like this too. The shame is greater than anger in the beginning. We feel stupid. But the lady was not stupid. He who is criminal. She gave a bitter laugh. Thank you for saying that, daughter. But it hurts the same way. It hurts to know that I believed. That I fell in love with someone who never existed. We talked for almost half an hour. Carla told me everything. As he met him. The promises. The request for money. The disappearance. The humiliation when she realized that she had been deceived. The despair of losing 5,000 riez that was for her knee surgery. And there's nothing we can do? I asked. I went to the police station, daughter. But they said that without real address, without real CPF, there is no way to investigate. His profile is fake. The number must be one of those of prepaid chip. The bank he uses must be Orange account. He knows what he's doing. It is not the first time, but it has to have a way. If you have, I haven't found it yet, she sighed. But if your mother wants to talk to me, tell her to call me. Sometimes it helps to know that we are not alone. I thanked and hung up. I stayed there, sitting on the couch, looking at the wall. Carla was right. The police were going to do anything, not without concrete evidence, not without a victim who wanted to officially report. And my mother wasn't ready. Not yet, but I wouldn't give up. That night, when my mother arrived at work, I was doing dinner. Noodles with sausage. The basics. She went in dragging her feet, threw the bag on the couch, and went straight to the bathroom. When he returned, he sat on the table without saying anything, ate in silence. Me too. Mother, I don't want to talk about it. Send it. But we need to do something. What do you want me to do? She looked at me with her eyes full of tiredness. Go to the police and say I was an idiot? That I gave money to a man I never saw? What did I believe in promises over the internet? You weren't stupid. Yes, I went. She got up. I was because I wanted to believe it. Because I was so alone, so tired, so empty. And he appeared saying everything I wanted to hear. And I believed. Because I'm weak. You are not weak. I am. Send it. I'm because I'm here, at this table, eating pasta with sausage again. Because the money that was to buy real food I gave to a scam. I'm because I can't even look at my cell phone without feeling disgusted with myself. She was screaming, crying, breaking. I got up and hugged her, strong, the way she always hugged me when I was little and had a nightmare. We'll be fine, I whispered. I promise. We always stay. She cried on my shoulder. He cried everything he had held, and I left, because she needed it. After that night, my mother changed. She stopped smiling, stopped talking. I was going to work, came back, ate, slept, repeated, like a robot. She had erased again, worse than when my father died, because this time it was not mourning. It was ashamed. She had blocked Ricardo, deleted his profile, erased the conversations, but I knew she still thought about him. It was still blamed, still felt pain, and I kept investigating. 2 weeks after meeting with the woman at the pharmacy, I was coming back from school when I saw a poster glued to the post near home. Caution, scammer in the area. I had his picture, the same profile photo he used, and down, written by hand. This man takes place as a businessman on dating sites. He uses fake name, asks money borrowed and disappears. If you know him or have been a victim, look for the police station or call, phone number. My heart accelerated. I pulled the roll of the pole and ran home. Mother, Mom, look at that. She was lying on the couch, looking at the ceiling. When I showed the poster, she sat down. Where did you get it? I was glued to the post around the corner. She took the paper with tremendous hands, read, reread, and then his eyes filled with tears. There are more people looking for him, she whispered. Yes, Mother, and we are not alone. She looked at me. Do you think I should call? I think. She took the cell phone, down the number, waited. Hello? Hi, I saw the poster. About the coup. I think I was his victim too. On the other side, a woman's voice. She identified herself as Mariana, attorney, had been hired by a group of women who had been deceived by the same man. They were gathering evidence, setting up a collective process. How many women? My mother asked. So far, 7. But we believe it has much more. He has been like this for years. My mother closed her eyes. He took 2,000 from me. I am really sorry, but you are not the only one. And the more victims report, the stronger our case is. Can you come to my office for us to talk? My mother looked at me. I waved my head. I can. When? Tomorrow, if you can. At 15H. She wrote down the address, hung up, and for the first time in weeks, I saw something different in her eyes. It was not happiness. It was not relief. It was anger. Good anger. Anger that makes us get up. The next day, I killed class. I told school that I had medical appointment, and I went with my mother in the lawyer's office. It was a small, old building in the center. We climbed 3 throws D stairs. The room was simple. Table, chairs, shelf with books. Mariana was a 35-year-old woman, short hair, glasses, serious but kind way. Thank you for coming, Beatrice. And are you? Amanda. I'm her daughter. Nice too, Amanda. She squeezed my hand. You can stay if your mother agrees. My mother waved yes. We spent more than an hour there. My mother told everything, from beginning to end. Mariana noted everything, asked for prints of the conversations, proof of transfer, all. Beatrice, you need to know that recovering this money will be almost impossible, Mariana said honestly. He must have accounts in third-party names. It should withdraw and spend fast. But what we can do is expose it, report publicly, trigger the police tightly, and try to prevent him from doing this with others. I want him to pay, my mother said in a firm voice. It's not just for the money, it's for everything. By humiliation, by pain, for playing with my feelings. And he will pay. I promise. When we left, my mother was different, lighter, stronger. She held my hand. Thank you. Send it. Why? For not giving up on me. I was protected when I couldn't protect myself alone. I hugged her there in the middle of the sidewalk. Always, Mother. Always. But the battle was just beginning. 2 days later, my mother received a strange call. It was of an unknown number. She answered on the lively. Hello, Beatrice? The voice was man, but it wasn't Ricardo. Who is it? I'm a lawyer for Mr. Ricardo Almeida. My client informed me that you are spreading slander on him. He is considering suing the lady for defamation. My mother got white. Slabbers. He stole me. Do you have proof of that? Because my client claims that money was a gift, and that you are passing by a victim to harm his reputation. This is a lie. Then I suggest you stop spreading these accusations. Otherwise, we will take the appropriate legal measures. He hung up. My mother stood looking at the cell phone, shaking. Send. He will sue me. No, Mom. This is intimidation. It is for Lady to be afraid and be quiet. But what if he really suits? We have no money for the lawyer. Mariana is already our lawyer, and we have the truth on our side. But I saw the fear coming back. I saw the doubt. I saw her considering giving up. And I knew I needed to do something. Something big. Something that changed the game. Because he wasn't going to win. Not this time. That night, while my mother slept on the couch because I couldn't sleep in bed anymore, I woken up late in my room. The light of the weak lamp illuminated the notebook full of notes, phone numbers, names, values, dates, prints, everything I had put together in recent weeks. I was 14, but at that moment I felt older. I felt responsible, because my mother was broken, and someone needed to fight for her. I took the cell phone. I opened the WhatsApp group that Mariana had created with all the victims. 7 women, 7 similar stories, 7 broken hearts, 7 empty bank accounts. I had not been officially added, but I knew my mother's cell phone password. I entered like her. I typed, "Here is Amanda, Beatrice's daughter. She's very scared now because of the fake lawyer's connection, but I won't give up. And I think we need to do something big, something that shows everyone who he really is." I sent. I waited. 2 minutes later, Carla replied, "What do you have in mind, girl?" I took a deep breath and typed my idea. A crazy idea. Risky, but necessary. The next morning I woke up early and went to Mariana's house. Without warning, I played the bell at 7 in the morning. She opened with a robe, with a sleepy face. "Amanda, what happened? I have a plan, but I need your help." She let me in, made coffee. He sat with me at her kitchen table, and I told you everything. "Do you want to make a trap?" she asked incredulously. "Not a trap. An exhibition. He thinks it is untouchable. You think we're too afraid to do something, so we show him that we don't have. Amanda, this is dangerous. You are underage. Your mother is fragile, and we don't know what this man is capable of. That's why you need to end now, before he does this with someone else." Mariana was silent, stirring coffee, thinking. "Explain to me your plan well," and I explained. Every detail. Each step. She heard me to the end. When I finished, she sighed deep. "It's risky, but it can work." She looked at me with respect. "You have the courage, girl. More than very adult, I know. I just want to protect my mother, and you're doing it better than anyone." Mariana called all the victims, marked an emergency meeting, Friday night, in her office, when my mother discovered it was desperate. "Amanda, you can't get in it. You are a child. I'm not a child, mother. I am 14, and I saw the lady cry. I saw the lady starve. I saw the lady blame for something that was not your fault. So I'll do that, with or without your permission." She looked at me shocked. I had never seen me like this. I had never seen me angry, determined, strong. "Drink, I'm afraid." "Me too. But fear won't put food on our table. Fear will not return our money. Fear will not stop him from doing this again." She lowered her head. And then, for the first time, I saw her accept. I saw her understand that she needed to fight. "What do you need me to do?" she asked in a shaky voice. "Just trust me." On Friday, Mariana's office was full. 7 women, ages between 35 and 52 years, all with the same pain in the look, all with the same anger contained. I was there, the youngest in the room, but no one questioned my presence. Mariana explained the plan, my plan. They all heard in silence. "It's dangerous," she said, "and he can react badly. But if it works, we get concrete evidence, witnesses, and public exposure. He will no longer be able to deceive anyone." I top. Carla was the first. "He took me 5,000 rees and my dignity. I want to see his face when I find out that we didn't give up." One by one, they all agreed. Even my mother. I top too. She looked at me. "My daughter taught me that we can't let fear win." The plan was simple. Dangerous, but simple. Carla was going to send a message to Ricardo, of a new number, as if it were another potential victim. It was going to be interested. I was going to set a face-to-face meeting. He always refused, but this time Carla was going to insist. I was going to say I had a lot of money, who was a businesswoman, that could invest in it, that just needed to meet him personally first. Men like him do not resist large baits, and in the meantime, we would be there, hidden, filming, recording, joining real evidence, face, voice, confession. On Saturday morning, Carla sent the first message, used fake name, fake profile photo. He said he owned a furniture store, widow, alone, looking for true love. He answered in less than 10 minutes. "What a pleasure to meet you, Fernanda. You look like an amazing woman." Carla sent print in the group. We are all tense. For a week he followed his script. Romantic messages, compliments, promises, copy and glued phrases, the same ones that sent to my mother, the same ones that sent to all, until Carla threw the bait. "Ricardo, I want to meet you personally. I know you're busy, but I need to look into your eyes. I can't really fall in love with someone I've never seen." He took a long time to answer. 3 hours. We got nervous, but then he answered. "You're right, my love. I want to see you too. How about next Friday? I can go to your city, lunch in a beautiful place. Finally, to really know you." Carla sent print. The group exploded. He accepted. I don't believe. I will get it right. My God, it will work. My mother looked at me with wide eyes. Will he really come? Go. Because he thinks Carla is silly. That has easy money. He doesn't know we're waiting. Mariana rented a professional camera. Small, discreet, that could hide in a bag. We combine everything in the smallest detail. The restaurant, the table, the positions, who was going to be where, how we were going to act. Carla would be the bait, sitting at the table alone, waiting for him. Me, my mother, Mariana, and 2 other victims, we would be at nearby tables, as normal customers, but attentive, filming, recording. On Thursday before the big day, I couldn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling, imagining everything that could go wrong. He could not appear. I could suspect. It could be violent. But deep down, I knew. I knew we needed to try. Friday arrived, the longest day of my life. I killed class again. My mother was missing at work. We got ready. Simple clothes. Discreet. She first spent lipstick in weeks. Her hands trembled. "We can, Mother. I hope, daughter. I hope." We went to the restaurant at 11 in the morning. It was a medium place. Neither too chic nor very simple. The kind of place he would choose. Public enough to look safe. Private enough for him to feel comfortable. Carla was already there, sitting on a table in the corner. Nervous, but strong. We spread ourselves. Me and my mother at a table near the window. Mariana and Simone at another table. A parasita on the counter, pretending to wait for someone. All with cell phone positioned, filming discreetly. Midday. He had not arrived yet. My mother began to gnaw the nail. What if he doesn't come? He comes. Noon and 15. Nothing. Noon and 20. The door opened, and he entered. My heart almost stopped. He was real. Finally, after month S, the monster had a face. It was not the man in the photo. Of course. It was older, fatter, baldness disguised with a cap, badly made beard, common clothing, no suit, no charm, only an ordinary man, median, forgettable, exactly the type of person who goes unnoticed. He looked around, saw Carla, smiled. He walked to her. Fernanda? Carla got up. He forced a smile. Ricardo, what a pleasure to finally meet you. They sat down. I squeezed the cell phone in my hand, filming everything. My mother beside me was pale, looking at him. To man who destroyed her, who stole from her, that lied, who played with his feelings. Calm down, mother. Let him surrender alone. And he surrendered. It started with charm. Praised Carla. He said she was more beautiful in person. Asked for lunch. Talked. He talked about his life. All lie. Company that did not exist. Family I didn't have. Dreams that were just bait. Until Carla threw the question. Ricardo, are you fine financially? I ask why. Well, I'm interested in investing in business. And if you need a partner, his eyes shone, like a predator seeing easy prey. Actually, Fernanda, I'm going through a complicated phase. A partner stole me, but it is temporary. If you can help me now, I promise. How much do you need? He paused, calculated. 10,000 would solve everything. Carla didn't flash. I can do that, but I need guarantees. I need to know that you are serious. I am, love. You can trust me. And then Carla made the final movement. Before I transfer anything, can you show me a document? RG, CPF, just for me to make sure. He hesitated. Fernanda, don't you trust me? I trust. But money is money. I'm sure you understand. He forced a laugh, and then took off his wallet, showed the RG, and at that moment, Mariana got up. He walked to their table. Excuse me, Ricardo? Or can I call you by your real name? Paulo Cesar da Silva. He got white. Who are you? I'm a lawyer, and I represent 7 women you have deceived. She showed the cell phone. And I just recorded your attempt to apply the same blow again. He got up fast. He looked around, saw us, all standing now, all looking at him. My mother stepped forward. Remember me, Ricardo? Or Paulo? Whatever you are. I am Beatrice. You took me 2,000 reis, promised me love, and disappeared. Carla got up too. I'm Carla, 5,000. One by one, they all identified themselves. All with the tests, all with filming, all with the anger of months. He tried to leave, but the door was blocked. 2 police officers entered. Mariana had called before. I had warned everything. Paulo Cesar da Silva, you are stuck in Estelionato. And there, in that restaurant, in front of everyone, he fell. My mother started to cry. But it was not a cry of pain. It was a cry of relief, of justice, of victory. I hugged her, strong. We got it, Mom. We got it. But when he was taken handcuffed, he turned and shouted one last thing. You don't know who's so stirring. I have friends. I have a real lawyer. And I will sue all of you. All. And disappeared through the door. The restaurant was silent, until someone started to clap. A customer. Then another. And another. And suddenly the whole place applauded. He applauded 7 women who refused to be silent victims. The following days were a mixture of relief and tension. Paulo Cesar was arrested. He was detained for 48 hours while police were investigating. Mariana worked non-stop, gathering all the tests, all testimonials, all the proof of transfer. The story leaked. Someone from the restaurant had filmed everything and posted on social networks. In 2 days, the video had over 200,000 views, comments on the hills, people sharing, people applauding, people saying they knew other victims. My mother woke up on Saturday with her cell phone exploding. Messages from people she didn't even know. Women telling them that they had gone through the same thing. Women thanking her for having the courage to expose. Women saying they would now report it too. She sat on the bed, reading everything, her eyes full of tears. Manda, come see that. I sat next to her. I read the messages. They were dozens, hundreds, women from all over the country, all with similar stories, all victims of scammers online, all silent by the shame, until now. You gave them a voice, Mother. She shook her head, thrilled. It wasn't me. It was you. You who didn't give up. You who fought when I had no more strength. We fought together. Mariana called on Monday morning. Her voice was excited. Beatrice, we have news. We managed to track 11 more victims through social network. All want to testify. All want to sue. And the bank has already blocked the accounts he used. It has money stopped there. It's not everything, but it's something. How much? Wed if 20,000 reais. Divided among all confirmed victims, it should give a couple of thousand for each. My mother started to cry. It wasn't just for the money. It was for justice. It was because he knew he had not been able to take everything, that something was going to be recovered. And he? What will happen to him? You will answer for Estelionato. Multiple accusations. If convicted, you can get up to 8 years. And considering the amount of victims and the repercussion, it is very likely to get it. My mother hung up and hugged me, strong, the way that hurts so tight, and I hugged back, because finally, after months of pain, shame, fear, we could breathe. The process was long, hearings, testimonials, paper behind paper, but we were in all, me and my mother, sitting on the forum's hard bench, waiting, always waiting. In the third hearing, I saw him again, Paulo Cesar, handcuffed, lean, the thinner hair, the back eyes. He looked at my mother when she passed. She held my hand. It didn't look away. It didn't lower your head. Just looked back, firm, strong, without fear. He was the one who diverted first, and I knew. I knew he had lost, not only the process, he had lost power. The power to scare, to manipulate, to make good women feel small. 6 months later, the sentence came out. 5.5 years of prison. More fine, more obligation to compensation. He appealed, of course, but lost again. In a year, he was really arrested, serving time. My mother cried when she learned, but it was a cry of relief, of justice, finally being able to turn the page. The money was returned. It wasn't everything, but it helped. My mother paid the late bills. He bought real food, meat, chicken, fruit, things we hadn't ate for months, and kept the rest, for emergency, never to get squeezed again. But the best was not the money. It went to see my mother reborn, slowly, step by step. She smiled again. In truth, he used lipstick again. He went out with his work friends again. He believed he deserved a good thing again. That deserved respect. That deserved true love, not a lie wrapped in empty promises. She started therapy, with a psychologist that Mariana indicated. Sometimes I went together, sometimes she went alone, and I saw the difference. Each week, a little more light coming back to her eyes, a little more strength in the voice, a little more of my true mother coming back. She thanked me 1,000 times, but I always said the same thing. You made me all my life, Mother. I just returned a little. A year after all, on my 15th birthday, my mother woke me up early. There was a cake on the table, simple, chocolate, made by her, and a gift wrapped in bread paper. Open. I opened. It was a new notebook, beautiful, with hardcover, and a silver pen. For what? For you to write. She smiled. You saved us telling our story the right way, joining the tests, showing the truth. You have talent for that. Send it. To tell stories, to do justice with words. I hugged her, and I promised that one day I was going to tell everything. I was going to write everything we've been through, so that other girls knew, so that other mothers wouldn't feel alone. And that's why I'm here today, 8 years later, with 22 years, telling this story to you. Because my mother taught me what a shame is not the victim. Shame is of those who do evil. That silence does not protect anyone. What courage is not being afraid. Courage is to be afraid and do it anyway. Today, my mother works in the same store, but now she is a manager, wins better. I smiled more. There are real friends. And there's a daughter who will never let anyone hurt her again. She never got on a relationship site. He says he doesn't have to. That is fine alone. Who learned that it is better to be just than poorly accompanied. And I respect. Because she knows what is best for her. Sometimes we still talk about those days. About fear. About the pain. About the fight. And she always says the same thing. It was worth it. Because I learned that I am stronger than I imagined. And you too. Mariana became a family friend. Come dinner at home every month. It brings cheap wine and good laugh. The other victims too. We became a group. Not victims. Of survivors. Of warriors. Carla opened a small business. Simone went back to school. Aparecida reconciled with the family. They all followed. They all grew up. They all turned more than that moment of pain. And Paulo Cesar? He is serving time. I read in news that he tries to go out for good behavior, but the victims don't let it. Every time he tries, someone appears with one more complaint, one more proof, another story. He will not leave anytime soon. And do you know what I learned from all this? I learned that the world can be cruel, that there are bad people who take advantage of good people, who have monsters that do not look like monsters, who use smile, charm, and promises to destroy. But I also learned that we don't need to accept, that we can fight, that we can come together, that we can turn pain into strength, shame in courage, silence screaming. I was 14 when I saw my mother cry for a man she met online, a man who promised love, that promised future, but that only brought a lie. And I was 14 when I decided that it wasn't going to end, that my mother deserved justice, that all women deserved. So I read his messages, I gathered the tests, I looked for the other victims, and I knocked down the lies. Because real love does not borrow money. Real love does not disappear when you need to appear. Real love does not use the same phrases for different women. True love protects, respect, appears. And if you're listening to it and recognize something from your story here, please don't be silent. Don't be silent. Seek help, denounce, add tests, find other victims, fight, because you are not alone, and you don't deserve to go through it. Today, when I look at my mother, I see a woman who survived, that fought, that won, and I see a woman who taught me the most important thing in life, that we can always start over. You can always get up. You can always choose not to be defined by the worst day of our life. My mother is my heroine, not because she was perfect, but because she was human. Wrong. It fell, suffered, but got up, with my help, with the help of other amazing women, and with the strength she always had inside her. But sometimes we forget that there is. This is our story. The story of a mother and daughter who refused to be victims, who fought together, who won together. And if there's one thing that I want you to take from here, is it. No matter how dark it is now, no matter how alone you feel, no matter how much it seems you will never get it, you are going, because you are stronger than you think, because you are not alone, and because always, it is always worth fighting. Thank you for listening to our story, and if she touched you in any way, leave it down here in the comments. Tell your story too, because the more we talk, the more we break the silence, and more we protect other people. And subscribes to the channel, because I will continue to tell stories like that. Pain stories that became strength, of fear that became courage, of women who refused to give up. Until next time, and remember, you are strong, you deserve respect, and you are never alone.